I'm going to show you 9 tips with Tejo, including broken combos with other agents, different ways on how to get damage and kills with his ult, and guaranteed top fragging with this broken new agent. If you're not sure you can trust me, my name is Mr. Cipe. I've been Radiant every act, and I also play on a competitive Valorant team. I've included timestamps in the description below so you can skip ahead or revisit any tips you'd like. And now let's start off with the first topic, how to use his missiles to take insane space on the map. So Tejo's signature ability, which is his E ability, is actually one of the most broken signature abilities that I've ever seen come to this game. It's actually insane. And the reason I say that is because he has 2 little missiles that like kind of go wherever you want it in this little radius of the map that he has. And it's really good to flush out the enemy from where they are. So like, for example, here on Lotus Sea site, you can use it to place it here and place it like right here. And when you send them out, the player playing back there is going to have to move and swing you. And honestly, that can guarantee you a free kill. The missiles do pretty good damage as well. So it's a really good way to get damage. So they either have to choose to either get killed in the missiles or get killed by your gunfire from swinging out of the missiles. Another thing I like to use for the missiles is that if you are taking a site and then, you know, default smokes go out like CT and water, for example, on C site, you can also put the missiles inside of the smokes because sometimes people like to play inside of the smokes. So if you notice that the enemy is always playing in the smokes and they like to spam or just like swing out of the smokes like just crazy players, you can send those missiles into the smokes and they would either have to sit inside of it, get damaged by it, or back up, or send it and just go out and potentially get you a free kill. Now, when you flush out the enemy from their, you know, place that they're playing like this, it is not fully a guaranteed kill. So you really kind of want to pair it with some sort of utility. And that type of utility should be flashes. And the best type of flashes would be like a Reyna flash, a Gecko flash, or any type of flash as long as you time it right. But the Reyna flash and the Gecko flash stay out in the air for a good amount of time. So it's really good. Let's take a Rebel, for example, on A side Lotus. If you know someone is behind a Rebel over here, right? You can use his missiles to like, you know, flush him out of there, make him move either left or right, and then have your Reyna teammate, your Gecko teammate, or whatever flash teammate and time it at the right time. Once you put the missiles out, he's gonna have to swing out, put the Reyna blind out, Gecko blind out, and by the time he's out, the flash will get on him. So like the Gecko flash will hit him or the Reyna flash will be up and he has to be blinded, either shoot the Reyna blind or shoot one of you guys. And it's just a really good type of pair or combo that you can use with his missiles and the Reyna flash or any type of flash that you want to use. Just as long as you guys pair it, calm to each other when to use it, it'll be really deadly and basically guarantee you that kill because he will be flashed and not be able to shoot back. So I think the best combo that you can use with Tejo is actually Breach, because his stun can get a whole line, like for example a lobby and sewer or C long or garage, you know, anywhere on the map. And I'm using Haven as an example because it has a lot of like linear mains. And the reason why I think it's the best combo is because let's say, you know, the enemy team is going to go A side, you gamble or whatever, or you just want to take the space. You can go on A long, have the Breach set A link, get ready to stun right when the round starts, and then you put your E ability, your missiles, kind of like in the middle right here, put another one right here, basically where they're going to start at the beginning of the round. They get stunned and they don't know where to go. The missiles are going to go down and they're going to have to get damaged by it and possibly get you a free kill. But if it doesn't get any kills, it will definitely get you some free damage, which is really good to start off the round with. Now, this can work in any spot that you know an enemy is basically trapped in. And if you know that enemy is trapped in one specific place, like for example, C long cubby, you can ask the Breach to stun that and it'll be really good. Just place one down, or you can even like stack it or just put it like that. And then the missiles will go down and basically guarantee you a kill because he will be stunned and not be able to get out very fast. Now, when you're using Tejo's signature ability, make sure that you use both missiles, because if you only use one, it has the same cooldown when you actually use it as if you used 2 missiles. Just use both of them to guarantee it. And here is an example of the same cooldown. Here, I'm going to use 1 missile right in front of me, only one. Sending it, it's at a 40-second cooldown. Now, if I use both missiles, let's say I want to use it, boom, boom, right there, and both missiles go out, it is the same cooldown at 40 seconds as the same when I use only 1 missile. So make sure to always use both missiles every time you use the signature ability. Now, if you decide to use your ult on Tejo, if you have your signature ability, which are the missiles, try to fill in the gaps that your ult couldn't do. Now, if you want to ult out into A site with Tejo, you want to make sure, you know, you cover all of hell and all of this line of A site right here. You can use your signature ability right after to cover graffiti or short or something like that, so that the majority of the site can be covered. So you can put your ult down like this, then right after you put your missile right here, act quickly, and then retake with your team, and then just cover all the gaps really needed. And all that utility that I just used right right now, all of this was being ulted. I missiled graffiti, and then I also used it on the short smoke that will usually be there. And then usually if there was an enemy graffiti, he would move over to this point right here, and you would only have to aim at that because that's basically where they would only be. Now, Tejo's drone is actually a really good piece of utility, and the best way to use it is to know when to pop it and where to put it out. So if you're ever retaking on defensive side or using it for clearing out corners and clearing out sites on the attacking side, always remember to do this. When you place your drone down and you see somebody, always make sure that you pop it in their line of sight. It is very crucial that you do that, because if they are behind a box or something and they are not in the line of sight of the drone, it will not suppress them or mark them. And that is not what you want, because you do want to suppress them and you do want to mark them, which is basically the cipher little mark that leaves like a little yellow silhouette. And then it also suppresses them like the KO suppress, so they're not allowed to use their abilities for around 6 seconds. Now, one thing to know when you do pop it is that you don't even have to be looking at them. You know how I was looking down C long? If someone was behind box right here, it would still mark them, which is really good and really useful, because you don't even have to look at them to mark them and suppress them. Now, when you're using the drone, it has near sight, so you can't really see super far, just like the Sky Dog or other ultimate, like the Gecko ultimate, where you can't really see that far and you only can see whatever is close to you, which is okay, because when you actually pop it, it will scan and mark and suppress the person in this blue radius when it goes down right here, which is really big. And I think that's really good, because like how I said in the other tip, you don't have to be looking at the person. So if you do place it down and then you place it right here in the middle, you can get the person either in garage right here and long right here, and it will get both angles right there, so you can get both of them suppressed and marked, which is really good and really useful. Now, one cool thing that I like about Tejo's drone is that it is completely invisible, so you can go all around the map until, you know, it dies out, and it will be completely invisible until someone gets close to it. When someone gets close to it, they will see the drone, and then if you get out of their line of sight, the drone will stay uninvisible, so it'll stay active and everybody will be able to see it until the end of the duration. So it is only invisible until someone spots it. Now, when you're gonna use Tejo's ult, always try to do it from behind the enemy instead of in front of them. So for example, on C long Haven defensive side, if they're coming up C long and they're coming really fast, they're either taking it fast or they're walking up, you could put it behind them like this, and then they would have to actually force out to go out into sight, or else they will be obliterated by, you know, going backwards, which is really good, and it will probably guarantee some kills. Now, one thing I like about Tejo's ult is that it can actually go from the top of heaven and also under heaven, which is really good, because if you're like playing on A site Ascent, I know Ascent is out of the map pool, but if Ascent ever does come back, you can use this ability really well for like heaven or other maps that have the same like hell and heaven type of thing. So one thing I like to do is kind of just ult from the side like this and get all of heaven like this, and it will also get all of hell. And I think that is really good, because for the people playing heaven, they're obviously going to get hit by it, right? But for the people playing hell, and that's usually, you know, them trying to tug or, you know, kind of hide from the attacking team, if they get ulted, they are just completely screwed, bro. The indicator comes on and they can't do anything about it. They can't run away from it, and they have to get out into the open, or else they will die. If you enjoyed these tips, you will also like these tips on how to get 0 recoil in Valorant, so click the video on screen now.